Today, I will give you an overview on the market in the upcoming several days. I will give you the exact date to accumulate, the exact scenario that I will be taking myself as well. We'll talk about what will be happening through the weekend with the BTC, what are the probabilities of different scenarios as well. And we'll finalize with the response to the question, are meme coins actually dead at this stage? Will we find new buyers and new liquidity for the meme coins coming into the market? Or are they actually dead, as a range of people in the marketplace are saying, and we are due for a utility coins pump? Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and without further ado, let's start. Current Bitcoin situation. As mentioned, I do think that midterm we are going to $61,000. However, currently we have several scenarios. Right now we are on Friday. During the weekend, usually the market is not doing a lot of things. There are some weekend pumps that often are actually considered fake pumps, but I will have a very interesting piece of information to share at this stage as well. We see that we are kind of following this trend line. We had a deviation right here at this level, right, that get bought up quickly. And what's interesting is that we have this green candle, which is essentially the main resistance for people that actually open shorts right here. And what's interesting that all this area is getting defended by the buy pressure through these order blocks, through these candles right here essentially, which is a very bullish setup at this stage, to be honest with you. And that's why mainly I'm thinking that we should be going to 61k and further after that, obviously depending how the market will react on 61k level. The situation that I'm seeing currently is that I do think that we might be seeing the drop to 57k over the course of the upcoming couple of days. So I do expect weekend to be choppy, and I do think that if this drop will be happening, we will essentially be coming around Monday. We should be here, and this would be the time where I would actually be accumulating, because I still have a certain chunk of money that I would like to inject into the marketplace. And if this scenario will be playing out, this would be the point where I would be injecting additional capital into the market, because I think my assumption is that this is the final point for accumulation. This should be happening on Monday. Monday should be corrective. If Monday is corrective, this would mean that they are gathering liquidity in order to pump the whole thing through the rest of the week, which they are often doing, and this is something that essentially people on the stock market are doing as well. And from there, I would expect us to move higher. Certain people are expecting a scenario that we're going lower, and I do think that we don't have like high chance to actually sustain at this level. If we broke down through this level, man, like for me, it's almost like a bear market. It would be harsh. I would really be considering about selling some of the assets that I have. Probably I won't still do that, right? Because we had this deviation right here and we went back up above this resistance line and support line, right? But I do think if we won't be holding this level, it would be quite harsh on the marketplace. The other case is just we're just pretty much going high up from here. So I would say that there is more than 50% chance, based on my estimates and based what I'm seeing in the marketplace, that we should be going down to 57k right here, get this liquidity, right, and from here move up. And there's a certain chance that we might just move up from here. If this would be happening, I'm essentially fine with the amounts of tokens that I have. I would probably be buying on certain confirmation levels, right? And if you don't want to play this game in terms of like figuring out whether or not we're going higher already or things like that, your level to enter, if you've been waiting to accumulate in larger positions, is essentially 61k. If we would consolidate above 61k, this would be a clear confirmation that we're essentially moving higher market-wise. So this is my overview on the marketplace. To give you one scenario, I do think that we should be seeing chop through the weekend. I do think that on Monday we should be seeing a correction till 57k, and that level I would be planning to accumulate. And moving further, I would just be essentially waiting and sitting on my backs. Interesting thing that I said, that markets are usually, in crypto markets specifically, that weekend pumps, they are not often considered the pumps that something that you should trust, right? Often weekend pumps in crypto are considered fake pumps. But we also have a very interesting bit of statistics that the market is pumping hardly through the weekend, usually only in the bull market, right? and we're kind of this like no man's land. People are not sure. We have this invalidation, and if we go through, we can turn into a full bear market and stuff. I don't think that something like this would be happen, but this is just another signal that I would be looking for. If it would be heavily pumped through this weekend, I would consider that we might actually just be going up from here. And I do think that once this move up will actually come, this will be a violent move out there for the marketplace. So this is my overview Bitcoin wise and how I'm essentially planning to play out this situation as well. I'm not on a bunch of leverage currently. I just took some loans during this drop for some projects, right, that I'm holding currently at this stage. I'm not using a lot of leverage, but probably this zone was a very nice zone for the leverage longs. And if we go to 57k right here, it also would be a very nice point to actually enter some leverage longs, which with clear invalidation and clear stop losses closer to this level. And coming back to the main point of the video, meme coins are dead. I don't think that something like this will be happening. Partially, I shared it in the video yesterday. Unfortunately, did not get a lot of views. So I would reiterate just a small chunk of information, and I would like to respond to this question once and for all for yourself as well. Are meme coins actually dead, and what will be happening with them? Partially, I do think that we might be seeing very interesting situation happening currently. I do think that we actually might be at the end of short-term meme coin season in the West, and we actually might be at the start of the meme coin season in the East, in Asian region. What's interesting is that Asians, they are quite similar to Arabs in this manner. They don't care much like if some people are doing some stuff like in the West, but if some of them actually start to do something and he's successful, they want to copy it right away. They want to have the same thing. It's this interesting part of Eastern mentality out there. And just in sign with the pumpage of Tron, he definitely pushed some things. Like we already see like similar things to pump that fund being developed on Sui. Sui meme coins are essentially showing some numbers as well. We had a range of Sui memes essentially pumping quite recently currently. So one of them is Blab, it's essentially the largest meme out there. FAD was doing interestingly, SCB, we do have Liquid, we do have HSUI as well. So these were the range of things that were pumping up just recently, and they've seen this correction, right? They've seen this correction from the recent pump and the correction of essentially 40%, right? But it just, I would say just the start. I would honestly say that for a range of memes on this chain, it's just a start. We do also have Blast that have a bunch of Asian focus as well, which is very interesting. So I would essentially expect for Sui memes, Blast memes, and Tron memes be performing quite nicely. And Western part essentially entered these ecosystems as well. And one of the feedbacks that a lot of guys that started trade memes on Tron, they're sharing that it's quite easy to make money on there. And the main reason for that is because in Western people, they definitely hurt at this stage. They pretty much got robbed in meme coins. Like most people, they lost money. It was like very quick essentially point of money extraction, right? In the East, people did not yet experience this. So this actually might be the case for them to be able to enter this game, to check out this game for themselves and check out how well they would essentially be playing out in this game as well. Because for some people, they will essentially make a bunch of money. Most people will probably be losing money, but this is just essentially the game and the way it's being played at this stage. In terms of the fact that meme coins are dead, I'm constantly checking top gainers on a daily basis, and there are a bunch of memes. There are always a bunch of memes. The only issue that I see with Western memes is that it's quite hard to imagine currently what will be this catalyst event in order for them to actually reach previous market caps. Because as we were like the market caps, as they were initial like hundreds of millions market caps, billions of dollars in market caps as well, we definitely need new liquidity on the market. We need new buyers into the market as well. And how to attract them, and will, like, once attracted, will they actually go into meme coins? I do think that they will definitely go into meme coins because of the way that the altcoin game is rigged currently. The market structure is rigged, and you can't hear stories that a guy invested $500 into altcoin and he made 50k, 100x. like it's a very, very rare story. It will probably require a bunch of time, and most likely ours will just heavily underperform meme coins, just of the fact that unfortunately VCs decided to make it this way, right? They decided to launch projects with the high fully diluted valuation and just dump the tokens, because this is the strategy of how you make money in the previous cycle, and currently it just does not work, as a lot of strategies out there. The same thing as essentially with buying the tokens of the previous cycle, right? There are reasons they're underperforming. People, like, there are a bunch of back holders, so you always have the sell pressure, and they might be like the founders, the market makers, the VCs, they might not be that interested in essentially repumping them again. It's easier for them to create these new tokens where everyone is in profits. If the whole thing is at all-time high, everyone who bought is actually in profits, which is a very, very nice situation, right? So will new buyers, once they're attracted, first of all, we have to talk about the way of how they will actually be attracted. I doubt that like current market makers and forces of the market can attract the new buyers themselves. New buyers will probably get attracted through the pump of the majors, right? So, and majors will be pumping through the macro conditions on the marketplace. Essentially, BTC and Ethereum should be following right after, right? So like new all-time high for BTC, like 80K, it would definitely attract a bunch of retail interest. 100K for BTC, I would say that like this would be like a turning point. This would be the point where a bunch of people, like, people love round numbers, and when you would be seen in ads on the TV, on YouTube, 100K BTC, it will attract shit ton of attention, and most likely these people will actually come to meme coins, because this is just this vehicle that provides enough volatility that you're capable to make a lot of money, in rare cases of course, with a small chunk of investments initially. And unfortunately we don't have this type of situation with the altcoins at this stage. Like, you can be making some, but overall they are underperforming. Obviously the issue is that the success chance of the meme coins is quite low, right? But at the same time, imagine like you're a retail person, right? Would you get like some type of scam shitter of 500K market cap get marketed to you? Probably not. You will not even know that like on a DEX screener you can actually go, you can check out new tokens and they're bounding from pump fund. Nah, I don't think that you would actually be able to figure out this part. I think that what would be happening is that larger memes will get shared with them, larger coins that are essentially established in the marketplace already through the current marketing channels, probably influencers, right? And then people who are sitting in these larger memes, they will be taking profits, and they would be playing in these lower cap meme coin casino again with a certain success chance essentially as well. So saying that only established memes will grow is the same thing that saying that only Bitcoin will grow and no liquidity will come into altcoins. Now, this is not how this game works. I don't think that we are at the edge of the situation where only established meme coins will grow and nothing else will be growing. This is the best vehicle for the speculation. As mentioned in my previous video that you probably missed, you should actually 100% watch it. The reason with meme coins, why they are so successful, I would say that it has actually three parts. NFTs, right? NFT is an important part, market structure and the situation with altcoins currently, and ability to focus on marketing specifically, marketing and market making. So let me actually explain the whole thing. I do think that meme coins are the evolution of NFTs, because the core thing, like why NFTs were so great partially is because of the community. It was able to pretty much combine people and have like certain mark of which they know of each other. It helped them to move with purpose into a certain direction, right? And it definitely was a vehicle to wash money as well. At the same time, like there was definitely like a cabal of influencers created by Gary Vee with the purchase of CryptoPunks, right? That started the whole thing. But issue with NFT is the limited supply. So you don't have the option to have like 10 million people essentially members of the NFT community, because there's just not enough NFT, right? Meme coins, they are solving this issue. Anyone can become a member of a meme coin community. And in the current age, I would say that we definitely have the issue with people essentially feeling that themselves as part of community because of the communications, because of the internet, because of the mobile phones, how we treat each other, how we behave in connection to each other as well. I would say that there are definitely issues with this part in the current day and age. So it kind of helps with this part as well. And what's better than be making money in a group of people that you actually like, right? You like to talk to them, you tell other people about the situation with the meme coin. It's just this kind of almost noble type of activity, essentially filled with positive emotions out there. Obviously, if the meme coin is going up, right? If the meme coin is going up, that's a way different experience. Market structure and altcoins. Partially the reason that memes will continue to outperform is because that the fact that the altcoin market structure is rigged. I mentioned just recently already. The reason for that is that you cannot make a lot of money with altcoins currently. Retail cannot make a lot of money with altcoins currently. I don't think there won't be stories of retail making like a bunch of money, like a guy entering the market with $250 and exiting with 5 million. I don't think that these stories will unfortunately come this cycle. Maybe closer to the whole thing, but I would say that mostly outs that will provide something like this will be very, very close to meme coins. Like for example, gaming at the end of the last cycle and gaming essentially at the start of this cycle. It's quite interesting that gaming ended last cycle and gaming started this cycle as well. So it's a very, very interesting thing, right? And the last thing is marketing and market makers. What meme coins essentially allow the project founders and teams to do, they allow to remove the delivery part. So with default projects, like you have to work with engineers, you have to wait on them to deliver something. It should be great because people will fat and they will dump and things like that. It's another level of complexity. And when you have marketing people, well, you have market makers, some of them, most of them, marketing people, they're not good with technology. They're not good with management of the engineers. They don't count the risks that you essentially have with this type of activity. And you might have like a deadline for the launch of the certain version of the product. You might be preparing like campaigns. You might be talking with the influencers, and then something wrong happened. Something happened with the development team. You were not able to deliver this thing on time, and it's just another level of complexity with the whole thing. With meme coins, you essentially just remove this part, and you're able to focus only on marketing and on the market making. So it's just a better speculation vehicle in the first place. And partially, you might be doing some strategies that if it would be an altcoin, it would not be viewed like as good, right? With meme coins, everyone knows that most of the memes, like most of the successful memes currently, they've been farmed heavily, and the supply is heavily concentrated in the hands of the founder, with most of the successful memes out there currently, right? Everyone is right with that, because if they understand that if the founder is decent, if they're not poor, if they have essentially the targets for the high market cap of the meme coin, they will probably let it ride. And they will probably be able to take the profits if they are early enough on the marketplace. So my bet essentially is that this vehicle will continue, this vehicle will survive. Maybe we will have a small change from Western like meme market, and we will come back a bit to the East. But after once East will be exhausted, I think people will still come back to the West as well, because it's not about the market. It's essentially about a new audience, new liquidity that wants to play these games. In the West, certain people, they definitely played enough. They might not want to come back because they still have this like bad feelings about like losing money and stuff. In the East, it's not like that. It's like a huge gambling culture, and Justin Sun, I think, started this way for the Eastern companies and people essentially in Asia as well. They definitely do take more look at the meme coins currently. They have more attention, and this is essentially the bet that I'm actually making. It's quite an interesting one. The end of the meme season in the West and the kickoff of the meme season in the East, which will probably be followed up by the meme season like worldwide anyway, because there is no better investment vehicle at this stage, essentially in the world, like currently. Not investment vehicle, but speculation. However, like if you're buying memes currently and you just can hold and you understand liquidity inflows, it's almost like free money. I would say that at this stage, like memes can only die if the market will die. If the market is not dying, they will definitely appreciate in value. They might underperform like short term. At the same time, it's quite hard to say, because in general, memes are quite connected with the majors, right? So it's like memes are mostly better placed for the majors. It's like safe leverage bets. This is why I'm actually thinking also that exchanges, like era of exchanges, might be ending, and more people might actually be trading on DEXs. Because even personally, like myself, I was opening a bunch of leverage loans and money are gone, they're liquidated, right, through the dumps. At the same time, I was buying some meme coins as leverage bets on certain ecosystems, and they're fine, like they're coming back. They are at the previous levels already, and my money on leverage, they're gone. So it's essentially a better investment and speculative vehicle in the first place than just using leverage. The more and more people will understand this, the more people will essentially move away from that. However, at the same time, leverage definitely provides certain opportunities, and there are probably different type of thoughts on this matter as well. To finalize the whole thing, I don't think that memes are dead. I think it's mostly about new liquidity. I think it's mostly about new buyers, and it was the most performing narrative of the previous cycle as well. I don't see any reason for it to be not performing narrative for this cycle too. And I don't buy this narrative that established memes will pump but others won't. Because people that are holding established memes, first of all, they can hold established memes. So they understand the game in the first place, they understand what type of assets they are holding. And probably once established memes we will be pumping, they will be taking profits and repositioning in smaller things as well. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope it actually was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and I will be seeing you tomorrow. Cheers.